Okay, you're playing the same champs. That's good. So
The
let's
only two
see.
champs AD carry wise I'm playing right now is Tristana and Kai'Sa. That
That's
seems to
good. Those
be.
are good solo queue champs.
I think I was like actually.
So I asked Rengar if he would start topside since it was a losing lane topside, so he would come down here earlier.
Okay, that's good. Before this happens, whatever is about to happen, I hope you flash on him and kill him. First off. Second, you need to both of you tell me how you think this lane's supposed to go.
Okay,
As Tyson and Alistar
we
versus
hard
Elliot
win
and
this
Tom.
lane. Like hard win this shit.
Why?
So, two reasons. One, Tom Kench can physically not get on me because Alistar just basically knocks him away or pops him up. And the second reason is 1v1, Aphelios cannot fight me.
Okay, that's true. Unless he has green or red and white guns, then he'll always win
Yeah,
you.
unless he has red or white guns, and then his little, what is it, the shock room or whatever it's called, is just
Yeah,
like stupid. So,
that's good. There's a lot of other reasons why you win this, though. One is that Tom has grasp. Grasp is bad, especially bot lane. Like he needs to have Guardian is really good. Two, Tom Kench isn't even a support anymore. He's almost completely useless in this role. He can't do anything like you said, and doesn't even have anything to do with the fact that you have an Alistar. This could Alistar could be any other support, and Tom would be useless. Um, so it's just a bad pick in general. Three, Aphelios level 1 is the weakest champ almost in the whole game because he doesn't
yeah.
have an ability. All he can do is auto attack. So he has extra range or he has a little bit of lifesteal. You always should fight Aphelios level 1. If you're playing Alistar, I expect you to flash Q him. If you're playing Leona, I expect you to E him or flash Q him. If you're playing anybody, Nautilus, I expect you to flash auto him. Aphelios is so weak early, and he has Conqueror and you have Halo Blade, so you're just hard winning early game,
All
and
right.
he just wants to scale.
I have a question,
Yeah,
and I do not understand why people take the rune.
which
Why do people take the rune Conqueror on 80 carries? I swear to God, it feels like the most useless rune on 80
it's
carries.
not, it's not. So the three runes like in precision, Conqueror, Fleet, and Lethal Tempo all have different uses. The most simple one to think about is Fleet because Fleet gives you sustain in lane. That's why people like Akali will take it in mid lane sometimes if they're bad because they I feel like they need it to survive in lane. A better example would be like um who even takes Fleet? Fleet's just not the best. But some people like Gnar will take it sometimes instead of Grasp into range matchups. And it's just good for sustain. It's still probably the worst of the three precision runes, though. Lethal Tempo and Conqueror, I think I see 50-50 on Aphelios because they're both really good on him. Lethal Tempo is good, but it's like kind of glass cannony, right? So if you are playing Aphelios and you take Lethal Tempo and you get your one auto off, Lethal Tempo is not as good as Halo Blaze in lane, but it scales much better. So that's the reason that Aphelios would take Lethal Tempo is because it's such a good scaling rune, right? If you are in a matchup where you're against a team that really can't touch you, like if you're against four like non-threatening champs or less non-threatening champs, or you have like a Lulu on your back, then lethal tempo could be good on Aphelios because you feel safe enough to where you're just going to be free hitting it. The less you have to a click and the less you have to kite, the better lethal tempo is because you're getting more autos in. That's the reasoning behind taking lethal tempo, and then the default is to take Conqueror because it's actually just all around a decent rune. Against teams that are very melee heavy or very HP based, like tankier. If the enemy or like if your jungler was Trundle here instead of theirs, Conqueror would be really good because you have an Alistar, a Cho'Gath, and then like a tankier jungle or mid. And if he can stack the Conqueror and through the like at the beginning of the team fight, then the middle and end of the team fight, he's going to start pumping out more damage than anyone. And so it's kind of like just relying. It gives you more survivability than lethal tempo, but it gives you. It's kind of like the in between rune. Like it gives you. It doesn't give you the survivability in lane like Fleet does, but it makes your team fighting strong if you know that you need to be kiting and you're not going to just be able to free hit. If you're not free hitting, then Conqueror is better than lethal tempo because you're gonna have to kite. Like if you imagine Aphelios with lethal tempo, if he autos one time and then like Alistar has to pull like headbutt pulverizes in and Aphelios has to flash or he has to Gale Force away or something, he's losing all of that time that his lethal tempo is actually active to auto attack. But Conqueror stays procced. it takes a lot longer for Conqueror to go away. That's why people will take Conqueror, because it's like the least risky rune. Because lethal, yeah, you'll have more DPS if you take it, but it's so much more contingent on you having perfect positioning and being able to free hit, which it usually isn't the case when you're playing in a mobile ADC. So
Okay.
Conqueror is just like that.
Second
That's why
question.
people take it.
You only mentioned Fleet, Conquer, and Lethal Tempo. What about Press the Attack?
Press the
Is that
attack
just?
is grief on Aphelios. Yeah, you don't take it
Well, I'm
on.
not talking about affiliates, just in general. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean it's okay. The thing is, most people that take press the attack actually just run Halo Blades instead, because Halo Blades gives like is kind of more early game focused. Like you'll see the press the attack AD carries are like Tristana and Twitch, and they can fit like whenever you look at pro players. What I usually do if I don't know what runes are, I go to this website. Whoops. And if you just type like if we look at Tristana pro builds, it'll show everybody that plays it, right? Look, they all take Hail of Blades over press the attack because it's more early game focus. Every single one of them. And then this is one press
That
the
one
attack.
guy.
Because he's mid lane. This is a mid lane Tristana. I would take press the attack in mid lane as well. What did I say? Twitch? Press the attack, Hail of Blades, press the attack, Hail of Blades. So it's basically on how you want to play. These runes are interchangeable. Press the attack is good in later stages of the game and helps you in probably more phases than Hail of Blades does, but Hail of Blades is really good for champs that need to get quick autos out. So that's why on Tristana and
Kaisa is
Kaisa,
better.
you see, yeah, because you want to get your plasma stacks, and Tristana wants to get her bomb off, right? That's more important than because if you have press the attack, your autos are always slow. But if you have Hail of Blades, you get the 3 autos really quickly, and you're gonna get your passive to proc faster. That's why people take it on her. That's why press the attack is never really taken on champs like that, because if an ADC is able to take press the attack, normally Hail of Blades is just better.
Okay. Third question.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to Conquer or Lethal Tempo, I never really take Fleet on anybody. So Conquer is for more tanky melee teams where I don't have to, or feel like I have to kite a ass load.
Yeah, like if the enemy team has a set that's
Yeah,
really good,
and then
or
Lethal Tempo is more like
I would only go lethal tempo if you have like a Lulu or a Nami or a Soraka backing you, because then she's just gonna buff you up your auto attacks and peel for you. Like you can go to Aphelios as well. Conqueror, lethal tempo, lethal. See how 50-50 it is? It's because it's always dependent on the game state. So that's something that you can think about instead of just taking the same thing every time. I wish I could look. Oh, I can. See, look, he took lethal tempo with appealing support, right? So then if I click like this one and I look, he took Conqueror, it's because he had Braum. He doesn't have appealing support. So that's like a really easy rule of thumb. It's not going to be always. Like I'm sure if I click through every single one of these, I'm going to be wrong a few times. But in general, he has lethal tempo. He has a range support. But this could have gone either way, I guess. If I click this guy with Conqueror, he has a Thresh as well. So it's mostly because lethal tempo is more risky. But if you have somebody that can peel you, like a range support, like Nami, Soraka, Lulu, Yumi, even if you are feeling like really safe, uh, lethal tempo will deal more damage over time. Like it'll just be a higher raw DPS item. But Conqueror is just safer. If you're gonna have to do some of the self peeling and you're just gonna be kind of in their face, you're gonna be proccing it quickly. That's why also you see a lot of the time, or Conqueror is paired with Immortal Shield Bow, because you're just like perma fighting, trying to just survive as long as possible, rather than lethal tempo people just trying to 1v9 carry. But yeah, if you ever actually have if you're ever curious, you can go to this website, u.gg, you can go click and you can look at any champ, pro builds, any region if you want, if you're that serious about it, and any role, right? Like no one actually plays Aphelios mid, but apparently Fudge did it 5 months ago, and you could see what he took, right? And then for champs that are more flexible, like who's a flex champ? Like
Tristana, or not Tristana,
Lucian.
Lucian.
Lucian, yeah, that's a good one. See, so then I can be like, okay, well, Lucian bot took press the attack every time, and Lucian mid's gonna do the same. But you can see like you can at least like differentiate. Okay, Showmaker took it in mid lane, and this is what he ran, and maybe there will be a little bit of a difference in like secondary runes most of the time. This champ is so one dimensional that everyone's gonna take the same thing no matter what. But that's just an example.
Okay. Thank you for answering my question.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, back to this. Yeah, you guys are right, or about saying you hard win, and the same reasons that I said Aphelios is useless level 1. So I hope you just flash on him and kill him here, or at least make him burn his flash. So we'll see. This is good. Okay, you are flashing on him, but I was about to say, look really quickly. You still have your ward. So before I even watch what this play happens, because obviously that's going to be good for you. Remember,
I don't
so
have that
we,
word because that's my word in the river.
yeah, that's good. That's really good. But you should have done something else, kind of. Okay, so let's look at when you leave base. Are you? Yeah, you left base. Oh, yeah, you left base on time. So one thing that you can do, and I said it last time, and so we're gonna see it play out this game and see when it could have impacted your lane. If you're playing a champ like Alistar, you have to understand, especially because you have Hex Flash, trading your flash early is really, really good. But your champ revolves heavily around playing around the bushes. So do you understand, or do you know what you could have done better before I even tell you, or no? After what I just said, how like your champ is good at trading flashes and you like to play in bushes.
I feel like I should know what you're gonna
No, no,
tell
no,
me.
it's okay. I'm just asking. So if you don't
Okay,
know,
then no.
that's why I'm here. So what you should
Short
have done?
answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
He should have put the ward in. Well, in this case, he put the ward in river.
Yeah.
But put his ward down and back get a sweeper.
Yes, exactly. That's
Oh,
exactly what he
okay,
should have done.
okay.
So you should as this champ, because you want to play in the bushes. If they ward the bush, you're useless, right? So before I even watch this lane, since you don't have sweeper, I assume this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna kill him here or burn his flash, and then you're gonna sit in this bush, and you become 10 times more threatening if this bush isn't warded. And I know your sweeper doesn't come up right away, especially if you place your ward. Placing your ward here was really good. Um, just to see if they were cheese ganking is the only reason you'd place that ward. I hope you didn't just place this to see them walk into lane because that's kind of grief. That ward is only good if you're afraid that maybe Tom Kench did the ward that I told you to do, where he runs in lane, places a ward and recalls to see if you're cheesing, because that's what he should have done. If that was the case, if Tom Kench warded these bushes, which he obviously didn't, and they are starting bot, Trundle could have done blue and then walked bot with his team, and then you
Yeah.
guys are gonna die. So that's the reason to have that ward in there. So I'm glad you put it, but you put it so late and you didn't get to recall, right? You could have even put it right now at 50, 55. You're still good because you don't have to. Actually, that would have been a little late, but you could have put it at like 40 seconds and then based and then run and still gotten into this bush or at least the middle bush and probably accomplished the exact same thing. So
So
sweeper, really important.
so I fully understand the sweeper buy and why that's better during the lane, but I typically will use the ward as it's like the only real source of vision that we have until I get the 500 gold for my item.
Okay, so not really though, because every time you base, you're gonna have a pink, and your ADC is gonna have a ward. So if you guys can't survive with one pink here and a ward in river or in bush, but a better ward is in the river, then that just means you're tracking the jungler poorly. You should last time we talked a lot about how like you guys need to keep your comms up, and one of the things you can say if you have nothing to say is asking your teammate where the jungler is. If you know, because since they leash bot, since they walked this long way and they were late to lane, he's starting here and he's probably going to path up. There's no reason for you to need your ward. You should be able to know these timings, right? If he starts bot side, that means he's going to be on top side around 3 minutes or 3:15 when Scuttle spawns, right? If your jungler is starting top and you're pathing to bot, you can also just think like, okay, generally they're going to clear at the same speed unless you're playing against Karthus or something that's really good at clearing. Graves is one too, but generally the jungler is going to clear at a similar speed. So when your Rengar gets to bot side and recalls, then you know that the enemy Trundle is probably doing a similar path and then coming back to bot. So this ward is good, but the reason the sweeper is always better than having your ward just for safety in lane is because your Kaisa should never ward unless you know that in the next like minute you could get ganked, right? So
Okay.
something we can track, but before I watch this game, is when Kaisa places her ward. If Kaisa places her ward in the first 3 minutes of this lane, it's wrong because you know that Trundle can't gank you for the first 3 minutes. Like that is known knowledge because he started bot and he can't three camp and kill you.
Okay.
So sweeper is always better. You don't because also if this kill happens and you get our base at 1100 gold for Serrated Dirk or even 1300 for Noon Quiver on your Kaisa, then you can just buy a pink and Kaisa can buy a pink. So you have two pink wards and Kaisa's ward. You should be able to survive for that much time. For your support item with 3 wards. You don't need
Okay.
your extra one. That also brings up the fact that you need to, as an ADC, be not stingy, but be smart with your ward placement, especially if your support in solo queue or with David. If he backs and buys a sweeper, you have to acknowledge that you have one less ward, but that's not the end of the world. You just need to place yours very strategically. You don't want to waste it. So we can look
Question:
at when you ward. Yeah.
I never see other AD carries buy pink wards, but I buy pink wards and put
because they're
them
bad.
like. I assume that you want to buy a pink ward when it's available, or like when you can.
Every time you base, if you have
Like,
money for a ping, you should buy it. The
yeah, okay.
only exception is if like your whole team is like you're the only damage source or something, and you need to be greedy with every single gold that you get. Like if you don't hit 3 items and you lose the game, then maybe. But for the most part, pink wards and vision is always going to be more valuable than you holding 75 gold. Always buy pinks. Okay, so this is going to be good. Yes,
Unfortunately, I
yes,
don't
yes.
think we actually kill him here. I don't remember.
Could have
Yeah,
queued a
that-
little
Oh, you
earlier,
meant
maybe,
the
but other than that, I mean, that's huge. He has no heal and he's 100 health. So like, I'm gonna keep letting it play. But you understand like what a massive advantage you're at right now, right?
yeah,
He
yeah.
has no heal and he has no pot, and so he has no lane pressure, right? He's gonna have to use his whole red gun just to heal up. You're gonna have a lot of lane priority for that. That's good. Look, you're literally hex slashing on a ward, right? So if
Yeah, yeah. No,
even if this
I
goes,
told him we did.
so
I knew it was
yes,
there.
yeah, that's fine that you knew it was there. But what I'm saying is that ward that he placed is gonna for 55 more seconds gonna haunt your life. You can't stand there anymore because
You're
they're just
right.
gonna
It
hit
did.
you, right? So yeah, exactly. So if you had sweeper, look, like if you have your ward again, and I can't ping it, but you're gonna have your ward again in 15 seconds. If you sweep that in 15 seconds, or whenever Aphelios uses his ward, because I assume this is Tom's, um, you're gonna have like you're forced to hex slash in front of his face, and then it's less dangerous, right? Aphelios can just back off. But if you're doing that from fog, then you're so much more dangerous, right? Um, I like the
pretty
hex slash
sure this
isn't
was
troll, but
I'm pretty sure
No,
this was
no,
a
yeah.
fat
I
finger.
was trolling with Heck Flash. That's all.
no, that's not that. I don't think that's troll. Like especially if you're trying to zone him from farm. The reason I pause is because I don't know why you're about to walk into this bot push.
Oh, I was just baiting like I worded it.
Okay, but don't walk that far. You
Yeah,
like you
true.
can ward from here,
Correct.
and also even Kaisa W'd it. So you guys think that they're junglers here. Kaisa just wasted 55 mana and a 22-second cooldown when you're winning the 2v2 to check the bush when you're walking 2. That's miscom.
Okay.
Don't use your W like that. That's bad. Because remember yesterday there was a lot of kills that could have happened if you weren't and that's one reason you're going to be because you're like that. You don't need to shoot that because your support's checking it, but also your support doesn't even need to check it because that Trundle started bot side, and so he's going to be top. It's 3 minutes in, right? If he's still bot lane, his whole top side is going to be gone, and your jungler is going to be 3 quadrants to 1, and then they just lose. So like that would never happen. But I mean, other than that, this lane's going pretty well. I'm assuming you're up in farm. Oh, you're not, but he's still kind of scary. Oh, I should actually. I still want to play on all. I want to see this ward. See again, like
Yeah.
look at how
Yeah, yeah.
scary this Hex Flash would be if you had your sweeper instead of ward, right? He could die here. Like actually, he still might die. He's too far up. Close. He still might die there. Like even with the ward. But like yeah, this is prime example why sweeper is just like
Pretty
premium.
sure we
He
kill
wouldn't
him here in a
know ahead of
second.
time I was channeling the Hex Flash. He wouldn't know until I came out of the bush.
Exactly, and then he's not gonna back up, right? So it's important that you don't use that. Ooh, no one's pinging, so we're just fighting.
So their bot when I noticed that their bot lane went hardcore on us.
That's fine.
So,
Oh yeah,
but then
okay.
they
So let's watch the
ended in
ball.
the process.
Yeah, that's
So
fine. That's fine. I mean, your jungler didn't ping, and he actually should win the 1v1. So I don't know what happened, but let's see this. So he's inting. He missed his thing. That's fine. You didn't need to hit him away because he just used his thing. I think you could have knocked him up and then just waited to hold headbutt.
trying to
That's good. You
just
got the kill though.
we were trying to back off because we saw Rengar died, but they were just like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
we're gonna
really
end.
dying here. This is good.
Oh, I
This is
forgot this
completely fine.
fucking clown fiesta.
This is good. You still have both sums too. Like, yeah, there's no way he even dies. Trundle is on a flash. Yeah, good flash. And you just kite him out. Okay, they're TPing, but you kill him and run. Yeah, you just leave. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
somehow this guy, I think he actually
it doesn't.
kills.
It doesn't even matter
He kills me.
how.
Yeah, because I'm
Whoa, whoa,
dumb. Because
whoa,
I'm dumb.
guys. Okay, look. You just
Yeah,
got how many kills? 3 kills. You have 1,500 gold. You have
this is
500
greed.
gold more in your inventory than Aphelios has gotten all game. You're double his gold right now. You're 2K and he's 1K. And
This
this
is
lane is
greed.
pushing for you. So,
So
yeah,
I
oh,
did not know
just
that they
leave.
worded that.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
You're staying for no reason.
Yeah.
This is so bad.
But also, the sweeper would have told us.
Well, I wouldn't have had it both times. Either way.
But
Probably.
even so, oh no. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
I actually was just like, "I fuck that noise."
You
Like,
guys are,
actually,
yeah, but like she's only coming because you guys stayed though. Like that was like a really bad play by her, but she doesn't even make that play if you guys just
oh shit! This
recall.
is when I was actually texting. I actually got tilted, but
Oh yeah,
I was
I
like,
remember this. This is funny.
"Oh my god!" I was fucking texting, and I thought the Rengar was gonna stay in front of me, and he didn't. And
Yeah,
I
that's
was
not. I
like,
mean, yeah, that's still just trolled by you guys. So let's back it up. I know it's obvious, but we need to talk about why so it doesn't happen again. Because this is really bad. This is like you guys just had a game-winning play, and then you decided actually we don't want to win. So he TP'd,
So
right?
at
So
this point,
he TP'd, you killed 3 people, and he's mid lane, right? Look at what he's about to miss. He's about
so
to miss a full cannon wave. Go ahead.
so in full discretion of this, as I was walking back to this tower, I literally said, "You should back and spend that gold."
All right, well, I mean, I don't know, be more assertive about it, or tell him, like,
Bitch,
I don't know,
spend your
ping him,
gold.
yeah,
That's what I'm
something,
gonna
because
say.
this is really grief. Look at what Brand's gonna miss, right? He TP'd bot, so he's gonna miss this full wave, and Gwen may get a play or just gets a free recall, right? So Brand is behind off of this, and their bot lane is behind off of this, and you got double buffs, so you're just the game's over. The game's
yeah,
like literally over.
this whole next like 15 seconds is me just
Okay,
greeting and
so
griefing.
what should have happened is okay, you got out. That's good. Alistar's low, Kai'Sa's low. Alistar bases for sure, and even though Kai'Sa, it's good to base on tempo with your ADC or with your support. If Brand starts pushing this, then you could just stay and then farm it under tower because they can't dive you, and then recall. Uh, because Alistar should buy boots and then maybe he can save you if they stay for too long. But the safer option, like if you really don't want to do anything, is just both just back up like all the way to where my cursor is and recall. Like I showed you right now, you're 2,000 gold to 1,000 gold at 4 minutes. It's over. Like the whole game is over off this. Because like I mean, and you have double buffs, so yeah, don't do this. This is super bad. And then like even when
So
you see her throwing, just stay
this is where
farm.
I got confused because I was like, I was really just trying to get these minions, and then she just randomly comes in. Like, I was really just like, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I was
still,
trying to do something to help her, but then like I ended up dying and
if you
griefing in
if
the
you know it's
process.
the wrong play and it's not your duo partner doing it, then you can just let her die. But also that's like on you guys for staying too long. Like I said, like they're not gonna make this play if you guys aren't just chilling
Yeah,
and
100%. I
deciding to fight.
fully admit that I did the dumb
So
thing there.
that just next time whenever you get kills, it's good to ask yourself what can you do next? Like what can you do now? And sometimes the answer is nothing. Sometimes the answer is we need to recall because you just gave them a shutdown too, didn't you? Like yeah, you gave Aphelios a shutdown, so not only were you 1,000 gold ahead and Aphelios is really behind, but now he's only 400 gold behind, and you're probably behind in experience, and he has double buffs. So I mean, the game is like flipped back within just a minute, or like 10 seconds or something. But that play's over, so now we just have to see how he can play it better. This is good that you're zoning him because he can, even though he has double buffs, he hasn't spent the gold that he shut you down with.
Yep.
He has 1K gold in his pocket that he hasn't spent. You have Noon Quiver and a dagger and boots. Like you're just way ahead of him. So it's good that you're zoning him. I would love for you to just stand in this bush until, especially because you have Rengar to back you up. If Trundle shows, you guys do win the 3v3, so you can play even more aggressive than this.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
go ahead and
care if
let
they
you
Q
know
you. Yeah.
this Rengar proved like in the next 2 to 3 minutes, that he is completely unreliable.
That still doesn't matter because like you win the 3v3 if he's here. If he's not here, then maybe you have to respect the fact that the jungler could come and gank you because you don't
Okay.
know where he is right now, right? If I toggle your vision, you don't know where he is. You don't know where he went off of killing him, right? So what I'm saying is Alistar can walk up and be aggressive, especially because you have your jungler to back you up. If Trundle was in this bush and Rengar wasn't, and Alistar walks up, then you guys might die again, and then you're getting snowballed out of control against. But the fact that you have your jungler support means that you can play aggressively because you can be confident that at the very least it's a 3v3. You see everyone else on the map. Teemo's not coming, and Brand is in mid, and he TP'd on you already. So at the very least it's a 3v3, and you can play aggressively and zone him from farm or kill him.
Gotcha.
Even if he's terrible, if he's the worst player ever, he's a body, and that's important. This guy's griefing. That's good that you walked in the bush. Unlucky on the pulverized.
I actually like W. I went
I
W
actually,
affiliates
after
is
yeah,
doing
yeah,
right
he,
now.
he was just like barely out of range. I understand. It's just a mechanical misplay. It's not the end of the world. Actually, it turned out to be even better because you should have just walked up and headbutt pulverized him. But the fact that you didn't, when you flashed on him, he flashed away. And like we said yesterday, trading flash on support for anybody's flash is always worth it, especially if you have a hex flash champ, because your flash is pretty much always going to be used offensively. And if Aphelios doesn't have flash and you have a fake one, then it's just good. Are they just all dead again? Sucks that you have double buffs on Alistar, but they're just all dead again. They're yeah. I mean
when
that's
I killed
good.
him. I
That's a
actually
good
said
play,
buff
but
transfer complete.
yeah, it was good. It was a good follow up too. Sucks that you got all the kills, but it doesn't matter that much. So we're back to
Flashed his mastery
yeah.
7 too for no
So
reason.
we're back to you being almost 1,000 gold to up on him. So effectively, you could almost be 2,000 gold up on him if we didn't throw earlier.
You would be almost a full mythic item at this point.
Oh, yeah, you would be. I mean, you have. Are you at your mythic? Oh yeah, you're really close. That's huge. You could have bought a pink, by the way. You have 80 gold.
Did I?
Ooh,
Yep.
got him.
Did I actually? Hold on.
Yeah, you did.
Wait, do I have one in my inventory though?
Nope.
Oh.
You're at 71, 73, 74 when you rock out of base. You have a slot and you don't buy one.
That's my bad.
Great.
I usually
Okay.
do buy one though,
Yeah, it's
because I
okay.
like to put pinks in our lower jungle. Because we put a fucking game with Elise Sin and we got like 4-man ganked at like level 4. It was kind of.
So
Look
just
at
so
this
you
great
can
roam.
see,
Look at this great roam.
huh?
Is it this great roam coming up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll look at the room in a sec, but I wanted to say at least, just so you can understand, you haven't had this situation happen yet, but I told you about it yesterday. It's always you should always roam unless your AD carry feels like he's either getting frozen on or getting dove. If they had different champs like Tristana and Leona, this would be a wave that Kaisa would say, "Hey, you can't leave," because look at
Right.
this.
We talked about it
Um,
before.
yeah, if they were more threatening of a champ, right now he just gets flashed on and killed because you're gone. As soon as you show on the map, like they can't. This is let's toggle their vision. They can't see you yet. As soon as they see you, whatever doesn't matter. They could kill Kaisa, but it's
So
good to know.
at this
Yeah,
very moment, I did tell him that if he wants to roam mid, I'm fine because um, that like they have no real way of actually doing anything at this moment. Like if it
Yep.
was Leona, I wouldn't even be stepped
Okay,
up
yeah,
because
that's
that
good.
champ
That's
is
good.
like cancer.
That's using your comms to your advantage, right? That's something they can't do, but that's perfect. So this is a good roam. It's good by you to tell him, yeah, you're safe, you're fine, you can't die. So like if this brand gets anything burned off of him or even zoned off farm, then it's a successful roam, and he dies for it. It's even better.
I'm not gonna
Huge,
lie, the
right?
Brandelt and Aphelios almost wiped our entire team in a matter of 1 second later in this game. We got away, but it was really like, okay, that's not cool.
That's fine. Do you have your ward up? You don't have your ward up. You have a pink, that's fine. You have sweeper now, that's good. So it's unlucky that you didn't see him doing that, but also you wouldn't have been able to do anything because your jungler is making a top play. They're pinging you off, so they have somewhat of a clue that you're coming back to lane. It's fine. So you should actually, I mean, they're posturing really safe because They know that you can win, but they also could be baiting you, especially because their jungler did dragon. Look at where he's standing, by the way. So he's looking to kill you, right? Maybe, or it's just like safer if your jungler's on the opposite side of the map and you know that there's his bot side. This is an example of a time that you would not want to play aggressively, because if you go in on them right now, you're gonna die. So it's, I hope, like, obviously I paused it, but I hope when I play this that you guys don't, like, you kill this minion and back up, because that's just the safest play. There's a chance that you could get 3v2'd right now, and you have a shutdown on Alistar, which will be hard to get, but they could at least kill Kaisa and maybe burn something else.
I think you're about to be real disappointed in us.
Because you need to. Okay, that's fine. If you clear the ward, I mean, he could be on the plant and last planting over, but it's important. Like, you know, you kind of have to understand the map in like cut it into two, right?
That's
You're
why
either
he checked that bush, to be honest. Because
yeah,
I
but
was
you know how
further
dead
back.
you'd be. You know how dead you'd be if you said, "Hey, let me check if Trundle's in this bush." Oh, he's not. But if he was,
Yeah. No,
like, you're
I
just dead,
understand
right?
exactly
Especially
what you're
against
saying.
Trundle, he has ult, right? His ult shreds your armor and MR, so he wrecks. He hard counters Alistar as a champion. If Trundle was sitting in that bush, or if this was warded and then, which it was pinged, and Trundle's sitting on this blast clone, you're actually really, really close to dying here. I don't know if you actually do, because you're really, really strong as well. But you know, that's the risk you just took for what, right? You're not getting
Because of
anything. You're
the
not losing anything for just killing for a little bit, right? You guys are on the weak side of the map right now, because if your jungler is top side in and both of your other teammates are in base, you are alone, and you know you're alone, right? No matter what happens, you know it's just you and your ADC, or you and your support. So if you are on weak side because your team is playing to the other side, your teammate's getting the Herald right now, trying to trade for the objective, then there's no reason to play aggressive unless you need to kill them or they're hard inting. Especially because he got dragon, right? It would be good of you if you knew that he was bot side before he did dragon, like, because you're tracking him, or you saw him on a ward or something. Like, I would have loved if you roamed and put your pink in this bush, or walked all the way up here and put your pink in this bush, because you killed the enemy mid laner. It's safe to do that by yourself. You can't really die. If Trundle sees you, then you headbutt him away and Gwen can help you. So it would have been really good if you would have killed mid and then put a pink ward up here, because it gives you a ton of vision. The fact that you have a pink here and the jungler probably won't know that you have a pink there means you're going to see him if he crosses to wolves. You're going to see him if he's going to gank mid, or you're going to see him if he wants to blast plant over to blue buff. That's a lot of information. That's a great pink ward bush on blue side, and so is this one. This one is more of a just a normal trinket ward bush though, because it's like it as you can see, they have it warded, so it's easier to get cleared. But right here is an underrated pink ward bush for blue side, and if you're playing red side, same thing. It's this one right here.
okay.
You'll see, like, as a mid laner, I place this ward if I'm red side a lot. If I can get the shove and ward right here with a pink or a normal ward, it gives me a lot of information seeing the enemy jungler. So if you were able to see him off of a better ward than this one, because the chances of him walking all the way around like this and not ever getting spotted by anybody and ganking you is pretty low. That would have been a better ward. Regardless, you know he's bot side because he did dragon. You know your jungler is top side, so it's 2vx no matter what, right? You're 2v2, 2v3, or 2v4. So it's just safer to not make a play right now. Also, you're sitting on two wards.
Yeah, I said there's probably worded, and I was gonna sweep it in like whatever the timer was.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But as long as you guys don't engage right now, I think it's fine. Until you know for a fact, maybe in like 30 more seconds or 20 maybe, that Trundle's not there, then you should be
I
chilling.
think we actually back off here in a second because we're like,
No,
we don't really
sweep
know.
those words.
I don't know.
Because I was like, oh, sweet two, jackpot.
Right, okay, so he took Dragon at around 8 minutes, so now we're at 9. It's safe to say that he's not here. So now it would be fine if you guys were to fight. You just have to kind of think about your timings so you don't willingly sign up for a 2v3 is all I'm trying to get at. He has red and white, don't fight.
So at this point, nobody has seen Trundle for like
Yeah, but
almost 2 minutes. So
you know he's topside. You know he's topside because he killed Dragon at 8 minutes, and he can't spend 90 seconds bot lane. Like, you know he's bluesing up because you saw on the timer. So it means, and right now you're seeing as blue team that his oh, you're not because you didn't get vision. But regardless, you know it doesn't take Trundle 90 seconds to clear 3 camps.
Yeah,
So
it does not.
he's gonna be topside by now. I mean, he's already done all his top camps. It's been so long. So it's chill to. I think if you guys are playing safe now, then it's just like a lack of knowledge on either his clear speed or like where he could be on the map. It's good to play safe when he gets dragon and maybe 30 seconds after that. But now, I mean, you guys are chilling. It looks like you guys are scared because you think Trundle's here. So it's a like that. Maybe try and think about the timings just a little bit more.
At this point, he just showed mid, and I think
Yeah,
we
that's
actually end up going in.
Yeah. So now you know for sure he's not here. You should look to engage every time. You're roaming too late. This is pretty bad. So, like I said, right, they got Dragon at 8 minutes. Now we're at 10, and you guys have done absolutely nothing. And you're up 1,000 gold. So yeah, that's good that you go in. This is a little bit
Yeah,
overdue. Though.
we see. I don't know.
That's no, it's good. Like this is a good play. That was perfect 2v2. You did everything correctly. It was a good pulverize. It was good that you ulted back here because then you get isolated Q damage on him. The kill was nice. All I'm saying is you need to, or there, it could have been faster. You could have done it sooner.
We should have had a kill 2 minutes ago, basically.
Yeah, not two, but maybe one. Yeah.
I don't know. I was just scared because like I hadn't seen Trundle in literally like 2 minutes, so I had like no idea what he was doing, where he was
Okay, then
at.
what? One thing you guys could have done. Let me back it up so I can show you. Because you seem really scared when it's a little too late to be scared. So right here, look, you push this wave, right? It's 9:30. He's already topside. You guys can at least go check his camp, right? Even if you don't have a ward, you guys are pushing. Whenever you have priority like this, you need to try and do something with it. Sitting back and just waiting for them to ping pong the next wave is kind of just wasting your priority, right? Why are you pushing if you're going to do nothing with the push? So in 30 seconds, when you guys start getting really scared because you haven't seen Trundle, that answer, or you could have gotten your answer if you went and walked here together and seen that his Gromp is going to spawn in 30 or 15 seconds. That says, oh, okay, well, Trundle was gone, or what already did this. He's gone. And then you walk back to the lane. They probably have killed like only 2 minions, but as soon as they see you, they have to leave because you are stronger as a 2v2, right? Like this is all time where you guys are both just sitting here, and you could have at least even just walked up to this, right? And like just pressured something. You could have, as Alistar, just walked over here and hit the blast pant over, so Trundle can't use it to do anything. You could have walked together and gotten the health, the honey fruit, just so the enemy jungler can't get it. Or you could have walked over here and seen that Scuttle Crab got taken and it's about to go down. You, like I said, you could hit the blast plant over. If you had a ward, you could have warded this bush or this bush or this bush or over the wall. There's so much that you could have done with the time that you guys both just sat here. Look at this.
I think we just completely lost track of Trundle.
And that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's you can. I'm not. You can't be perfect on tracking the jungler. What I'm saying is, you could have helped that cause right now.
Yeah.
If you lost track of Trundle and you have full priority and they're not walking up, right? If Trundle was right here and you guys start walking into river, it's pretty much a guarantee that they're gonna follow you, right? And then you kind of are getting context clues. You're getting hints. Oh, okay. Well, they're walking at us. Maybe we shouldn't go check their jungle. But look at how much time you guys have. You can't be scared of getting ganked right now. Look at where they're at. I mean, you don't think this Trundle's about to pillar you from over here and just try and 1v1 you. So all this time you could use, go hit the plant, go see when Scuttlecrab's despawning. That gives you a timer, right? If Scuttlecrab's almost done, that means he was probably here like 45 seconds ago. So he can't be here anymore. You could have go check at the Gromp if you had a ward, which neither of you do right now. That's fine. You ward here or here or here, hit the plant over. You could just walk mid just to make Brand feel scared, but he's just dead again, so that can't happen. You could check this pixel for a pink ward. There's so many things you could do with this downtime that you guys aren't doing. So try and maximize your time, right? If you're gonna push, then do something with it, right? If you're gonna push, maybe you can get a plate, right? Like that's a really basic one, right? If you're pushing and you aren't under any threat, then you can try and get a tower plate. But that's not the only thing you can do. You can do everything that I just said. You can just do one of those things, and that gives you an advantage, right? You see this scuttle, that should tell you Trundle's not here. You can hit the honey fruit, so maybe Trundle doesn't heal up before he ganks you. You can check this pixel because maybe it's pinged. It's not, but maybe it is. You can ward here. You can ward here. You can hit the plant. You can even do Krugs, like if you really, really wanted to. That's probably kind of grief, but there's a lot you can do with the downtime that you're not doing. So just like next time you guys have this kind of priority, make sure you're trying to do something with it. Because right now, you just pushed and did nothing, so you're as useful as Aphelios and Tom Kench. And that's not good. When you're as useful as the team that, or the duo lane that's super behind. You want to be more useful than them. You want to make them always be on the back foot, right? Oh, and Alistar just got his support item upgraded, so you would have been able to ward. And this is when that happens. You leave too late. She's just dead. She overstayed is why she died,
So
so it's not
question.
your fault. Yeah.
We communicated, because I didn't realize how low she was, but we communicated for him to kind of go up that way since Rengar was there too, and I just
Yeah.
kind of stay back because that
Yeah.
would have been a 3v1.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's fine. The only
Okay.
issue is that I don't think he should have left at all, but at least you guys were on the same page, right? If you're like, hey, okay, I'll play safe while you walk up to maybe save Gwen, that's good. That's a good play, and it's always right as long as you're on the same page, right? It's better than if David just started walking and then you're still farming and get knocked up by Tom Kench. That's something that might have happened yesterday in the other VOD because you guys were not on the same page. So that's good that you're on the same page. The only thing I had to say is that you probably should never walk because if you look, this Gwen is just overstaying. Is she still dead or
Yeah,
she's already dead?
she was low as shit after she killed
Right,
Brandon the
like
other
she
time.
look at her, she was just greeting for a plate, so that's just her fault, and she even got flashed on, so whatever. You just let her die. You don't even have to walk away. But I guess it worked out because you walked away and then you came back and killed them. Um, but yeah, it's good that you're on the same page there. Because if this was solo queue and your Alistar went up like that and maybe did try and help Gwen, and Kaisa walks up and dies, then Alistar is going to be blaming Kaisa for not playing safe, and Kaisa is going to be blaming Alistar for leaving lane. So it's good that you communicate that. And then this guy's too far up. Then good.
So right there, I used my E to gain closer. Like, all right, so when he hits him or knocks him up, he's a little outside my range. So I used my E for a second,
Yes,
and
that's
then
perfect.
and then
Yes,
I
yes,
ult
yes.
in. That way, I have the attack
Yes,
speed.
that's perfect. So yesterday, whenever you were Eing, you were using your E in the middle of your fight, and so you can't auto attack because you can't use anything else besides your E when you're Eing. Use E before the fight starts because then you have that your gap closing, and then you can auto attack really fast because it gives you an attack speed buff. So that's perfect. That's how you need to E as Kai'Sa. You should never do it any other way. Yesterday, you would have ulted in, and then you would have E'd in front of him, and you're losing auto attacks. That Caitlyn yesterday would have died if you would have done ER like this instead of like you did yesterday. So that's good.
Yeah, we
That's
were trying to
fine.
decide if we were going to dive him, but we were trying to figure out where Trundle was, and then we
Yeah,
got our answer. So
I
it
think
was
you're
kind
gonna get
of
shut down here.
yeah, it was
Even
kind of
just
tragic.
as a rule of thumb, it's probably not worth it to dive Tom Kench. Like, how much are you actually gonna gain off of it? Um, but yeah, that was a bad dive, especially because you don't know where Trundle is. But it's okay. Just like that's another. So that's 2 times now where you guys have made a really good play. First time you got a triple kill. Second time you killed their Aphelios, and you're overstaying. So next time you play, try and don't overreach. Right, you're getting these huge advantages. Then don't throw them away. Just recall and play with your advantage that you got instead of giving them a chance back in the game. Good roam. It's a bad word.
I honestly I did it just because I felt like I needed to
Yeah,
do
you're
something.
autopiloting. Don't autopilot. It's bad. Bad word. That word will give you nothing because mid tower's already gone. Brand just died. You have no clue where Trundle is, and Dragon is spawning. So you just wasted one of your ward charges when you're going to be playing on the bot side of the river for a top ward. So just try not to autopilot with your resources. You could have
Two
walked
words are
over
pretty. Or are those other two words they put good?
here and here. Yes, you could have gotten this one more deep. You need to also remember, um, if people are dead, then they're off of the map. You have pressure, right? If you're a support and everyone on the enemy team is alive and you're not sure where the jungler is, then going into their jungle is pretty grief. But you just killed their brand. Okay, so that's a bad word. This word is good, but it's not the best word. Why are you not wording up here? This is
Because
like
I didn't know where Brandon was.
this is a fringe, like this is the scaredest word you could put because their mid laner isn't there, yours is in lane, so if you find Trundle you're fine, right? This is not a risky ward. It's only risky if
Rengar is
Brand is here.
also not too far away either.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well,
you need to go for
Rengar's
deeper
almost
vision.
dead.
Deeper vision is good because what's going to happen is Trundle's going to farm his camps and then start his sweeper right here where my cursor is. So he's going to miss your ward that's in this bush or in this bush. If he's going to gank mid, he's going to start his sweeper right here. So you understand that that, better you need to try and look for wards that aren't going to get swept out immediately. So right here, you killed their mid laner. Look for deeper vision. You have time, right? Even the enemy bot lane isn't in lane, and your Kai'Sa should know that because she's chilling here. So this was a bad ward, and these two wards you're going to place are okay, but they should be better. You should place here and over the Gromp wall or in this bush.
Okay.
Especially because you're about to do dragon, right? So this gives you vision on who's coming, right? If their Teemo was playing an actual champ and he recalled and was going to come fight this dragon, you would know much sooner that they have 5 people than if you ward right here. If you ward right here, you're going to know when you're already committed. But if you ward here and you're like, oh crap, their top laner walked down and ours didn't. Maybe we should back up. But you don't know that because you're placing shallow vision. You can place deep vision whenever you have priority and you have numbers, right? So even this ward, you would have already had to walk like 3 paces up and ward over this wall. This ward right here, where my cursor is a very, very good ward because you see if they're doing Gromp or blue or walking through. So just try not to autopilot your wards. This is troll, and then try and get deeper vision if you have numbers and it's safe. Don't do that if it's not safe. Don't do that if your Kai'Sa's under tower. Don't do it if like the enemy mid laner is killing yours. But if you have the ability to get deeper vision, you should always do it.
Yeah, at this point, we were trying to kill Aphelios, but he left, so we just said, I basically was like, I'm going to go kill T. Kinch because he's too far on the tower.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we saw Trundle in the ward right there, so...
Wait, when did you see Trundle? Actually, this is important.
Oh, no, wait a minute, actually.
No,
I thought we saw him on the ward right
we
there.
killed
Maybe
Tom
I'm wrong.
Kinch. We killed Tom
Oh.
Kinch, and then we're walking up to Aphelios at the tower to try to get the last
Yeah.
play off of it. And
Okay,
I
so
was
so
like, we should
answer
die.
me this: would you have dove Aphelios if you knew Trundle was in this bush?
No, absolutely not.
No? Okay. So
Okay.
look at this.
I was
Look at this ward.
mistaken.
Look at how completely useless this ward is. Alright, I'm gonna toggle their vision. Look at where Trundle's walking. I'm gonna toggle yours. You never see him. This ward is useless. This is a good ward in lane, maybe, just because you can see if someone hits a blast plant. But since you had time, if you would have warded over this Gromp pit, whatever happens on this dive is your fault because you didn't ward in the right spot. Look, you still don't know where he is. You don't know him until you're diving.
I literally
right?
pushed W and I said the word
Yeah,
fuck
exactly,
as I
exactly.
pushed it.
So yeah, this is an aftermath. Like whatever this happens, like if you're gonna die or whatever, this is the product of the fact that you need to place your wards into better spots because that ward hasn't gotten you anything. I'm only harping on it because it's hard, like especially if you haven't had someone watch your games before, or someone like that like plays a lot or whatever. It's hard to understand everything I'm saying, especially if I'm giving you if-then scenarios, right? But this is a perfect example of the fact that you placed this ward and you immediately got punished because it was a bad ward. So now, like in your future games, that this ward will be so much easier for you to remember. I should put it over the wall
Yeah, I'm
because
never
you would have
fucking
not
doing that
died here.
bullshit.
You would have not died if you just put it right there. So that's good. That's why you watch these things.
Yeah.
You had no idea that Trundle was coming.
Basically,
But
the
you
end
could've.
of that is just me and Kai'Sa cleaning up Trundle and whoever the other person was.
Yeah, the rest of this game is pretty much a wash, I assume. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they're all coming to kill you, but so that was just greedy. But we don't have to watch through that. QSS is pretty good here. Wits End, by the way, again against their team comp. Oh, nice! You're building Wits End. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
We talked about
This,
it. It was great.
yeah, Wits End is nuts
I'm
here.
not
They
gonna
have
lie, it
Yeah.
really helped. Like
I told you. It's
it
a really good
is-
item for ADC, and when they have AP threats, it's really good. Look at their team. They have magic damage, magic damage, magic damage, magic damage. Like the only thing that doesn't do magic damage is the Aphelios and then Trundle's Q. So
it
even
really
Trundle's ult.
helped.
Yeah,
Like, it really helped.
You're gonna shred these people with Wits End. That's huge.
Like I noticed especially the next game we played, the Tristana game. Like I noticed it because like Teemo would blind dart me and it almost does nothing, and I'm like, wow. Like normally I take like 500 damage right now, and it only did like 150.
Yeah, Wits End is great against AP threats. Always, it's just a really good item right now.
All right, so what do you think of that rotation? Okay, like is all that fine? Like
I don't think
we
need to
shoved out mid and then we rotated top.
Yeah,
and
that's
killed him
perfect.
took
That's
tower.
perfect because this is the last outer. That's fine. They're kind of griefing. I actually want to pan their vision. They probably didn't even see you. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're just 2 ahead, right? You're 8-2. Your team should just be walking around with you. It's good that you did Herald. Now you should just be pinging for your team to help you, right? Cho'Gath can group, or Rengar can group, or anyone, and then just
Should we
brute force
do
through
this
people.
this T Kench next?
Yeah, I mean,
No,
if he
no,
runs too far, then it's
that
fine.
part.
Oh,
Oh,
this is the fight that we almost got wiped
okay,
because of Brandon
so this is fine.
Filios.
Look, he doesn't know where you're at. I mean, we're not going to go over this for very long because it's more importantly is to go over lane so you don't lose the game in lane. Because and also if you guys make better decisions in lane, you guys would have already won. It's 18 minutes and you've died twice when you don't really need to. So you could have already won by now, but it's okay, right? Like we're just trying to clean that up. This, I mean, if I toggle your vision and you see him turning back at you. He's a support Tom Kench. Like you should know this is overstepping, right? You don't need to overextend
Yeah,
for
at this
kills like
point we
this,
don't see
right?
anybody.
Like there's no objective. There's nobody on the map. So what are you fighting for, right? He ran, okay? If he was trolling, then kill him, right? This is not trolling though. He ran from mid lane all the way up to over here and then he decided to walk away. So if you guys die, then it's just because you're overstepping. Especially for a non-priority target. But yeah, that's a lot of AoE damage.
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
it
blah,
was
blah, blah, blah.
it was not fun.
Right? So that's just a throw. Like, that's you don't need to do that. If there's nothing to fight over and they're not giving you free kills, then just consider not doing whatever the play is. If like the upside of that play is you kill Tom Kench, the downside is that you get aced because he's baiting you. Like, is it
And
really
we
worth
lose the
risking
tower.
it, right?
So we get ace and lose tower.
Yeah. Is it really worth risking it? Not really. But yeah, the rest of this game is that's good old.
So we were actually like debriefing ourselves in that team fight that we just had because like we kind of fucked up with our communication.
Do you want me to watch it real quick?
No, I mean we know what we did. We
Okay.
shouldn't have fought. to begin with.
That team fight, I really didn't want to go in, and it just the rest of the team was going, and it was I don't know,
It's okay.
it
I
was
mean,
a split fight, and it was a close
when you're
quarters
this
against
fed,
the
you
AoEs.
just need to make slightly better decisions than the enemy team, and you're going to win just because you're so much stronger than them. But like I said, the most important thing is that we go over these first 10 minutes or first 15 minutes because there's so much to learn in them. Pointing out the things that we could do better or the things that shouldn't happen. Because now at this point, like, okay, you did good, you played better than the enemy, and like, I don't need to watch you kill them in their base. But yeah. So
I'll be
things,
honest, the last 2 games laning phase has been superbly, or the last 2 games we played tonight, like because we've only played 2 games so far, the laning phase was superbly easier.
Yeah.
Like
And it's just because like the things that we worked on, right? You need to save your mana a little bit more, which we even saw you could do better. This is a really good cheese, especially when you can acknowledge that you have the better level 1. Saying
We talked
in
about that
saying
beforehand too.
saying communicate like with good comms is always very important with your duo. Abusing the fact that you can talk to each other. I'm trying to think of what else happened. Don't overstay after you do things that are really good. Even right here, you guys kind of overstayed a little bit, right? After he heals and like, okay, so you're out of auto range, you're exhausted, and Alistar has nothing up. So just leave here. Let's see how much damage you take from here, walking forward, and extra damage, right? So Alistar, you should just turn around now. So you did actually pretty well there to turn around at a good time. Just try and know your limits, right? Get something once you got what you came for, and there's no reason for you to keep going. Then turn around. You
oh,
you did really well here.
I got a question for you that's
Yep.
not related to this game.
Yeah.
How do you feel about 100 Thieves going to Worlds?
I'm happy for them. Why?
I mean, like, do you think they're gonna do decent, or
I don't know. Probably not. Their coach didn't really do very well last time he went to Worlds. And they're like, I mean, they're a really good team, but Worlds is always a little bit
so?
tough.
And then your opinion on Mad Lions.
Mad Lions is really good.
Okay,
Every time I watch
so
them.
can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Could you, since there is a world that literally Damwon could be the 1 seed and FPS could be the 2 seed, like that is like the most disgusting group at that point. Because like nobody, like it doesn't even matter who the other 2 teams are. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to speculate, but I'm excited to just watch it whenever it happens. I'm not sure the groups aren't decided yet, right?
No, they hadn't
They haven't
decided them
seeded
yet.
them, so
But like And then like Rogue could get out and be in the 3C, which I think Rogue is like really good with best of ones, but they just do not do well in best of fives for some reason. Like I don't know.
Yeah. This was good. You need to leave here to
Yeah,
stroll.
we should have just left here. Yeah.
So the biggest thing I can take up from your lane and later is don't overextend, don't overstay. You have 1,000 gold, 1,600 gold right now. At 4 minutes, just spend it. Don't keep like greeting.
Right. So question.
Yep.
If I have 1,300 gold as Kaisa, I should
New
probably
quiver. Always.
But if I have to back with 1,100,
you can get Dirk.
do you ever finish that Dirk into Collector or?
Yeah. I mean, the more important item is Serpent's Fang. You would pretty much only get Dirk now on Kaisa if you need Serpent's Fang. Not against their team, obviously. And what I mentioned the other day,
Dominic's against theirs.
it was more about what'd you say?
Probably Lord Dominic's for the Trundle and Tom Kench late in the game.
Yeah, that's good. But the thing I mentioned yesterday, whenever I said Kaisa has a unique thing where she can base at 1100, because if you and enemy ADC both base on 1100, Kaisa is one of the few champs that can get Dirk. It's a little bit not as meta anymore because Collector is just like popularly not a good item anymore. But if you're against a team that you need Serpent's Fang against, like an Immortal Shield Bow user, and then Lulu, or someone that like a Riven, or Sterix Gauge users like Renekton or Viego, people that have big shields either based on items or based on kits, then Kaisa is one of the good ADCs that can build Serpent's Fang and counter that. So if you're in a Serpent's Fang game as Kaisa, and you found a base timing at 1100, then you're gonna have such a big power spike over him because he's gonna base and get a Vamp Scepter or boots and a longsword, and you're gonna have Dirk.
Gotcha.
So that would be the only time you do that. And the thing is, you can't do that on every ADC. Kaisa is one of the very few. Like I can't think of another ADC that builds Serpent's Fang like just reliably as Kaisa does. So.
And one other question: can you look at my second game, which is the Tristana game, just the build that I had against their team?
Yeah, I can look at the build. I can't watch the game right now, but let me.
Yeah, the whole game was.
I didn't even send you the video.
Yeah, it was a stomp, like a massive stomp. I got so fed to the point where it really just did not matter anymore.
This one here.
Yeah.
It was a.
Oh yeah, you have quite a few kills. Yeah, what's in is fine. Maybe you sell it later. Depends on who's fed on their team. I guess Teemo's strong.
I bought the shield bow
good here.
specifically because Lee Sin at like 6 or 7 minutes had like 7 kills.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean this is like definitely like the safe carry build, because if you have that many kills, you're really not gonna die to anyone with shield bow plus Whitson, so this is fine.
Yeah, it was the only that item is because, like I said, the Lee Sin got like 7 kills.
And they're really
crazy.
squishy. Yeah, and they're really squishy. So yeah, Kraken would have been less good here. That's just fine. I would have probably built the same thing. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have.
Questions, none of which relate to the game, but are very simple questions, I think.
Sure.
The first one is, how do you have any issues with me like uploading this on like YouTube or anything?